So we've got, say, we could tap over here, for example, which is probably what it was before. And it's just got to be connected to the network in some way. So actually, if I do, say, this, I mean, this petroleum is connected to all the other petroleum, and that's fine. The heavy and the light does have to be treated slightly differently because of the cracking setup. You know what? Yeah, we'll just do this. Ensure maximum walkability. It's fine. We've got that, and then the heavy can go all the way to here. Perfect. And there we go. Can merge up in there. Well, you're actually full of heavy. I don't think this is cracking. I think the circuit condition got busted on this again. You're definitely going. I'm pretty sure we're going to need more of this. I think I'm just going to throw some speed modules in there. So we're going to let this run all the time, because what the hell, right? There's obviously something I don't understand. I'm not getting. I mean, the light seems to be working okay. Turns on when it's at 10K. When heavy oil is above 10,000, I guess I don't have number lock on, you pump. Which is what you're doing. Which is there. Is there a way to, like, get a more visible example of what's going on? I mean, you're connected to network 17. If I look over here, you're connected to network 17. You're reading the contents. In theory, you should be going. And you're regularly pumping. And this output here does bypass that pump, which is important because this has got to be emptying even if we're not pulling in light oil. I suspect we do want to double up on our heavy cracking, but we got some petroleum now, and actually the counts are going up. They're fluctuating a bit. And it's going to be, now what we're going to be doing is hammering our crude oil. There's a good chance that we will be, exactly, we're going down on crude oil, but that's okay, because we had a big backlog of the crude oil. Probably will run out of crude oil right now, but the important thing is that we are in fact producing a bunch more petroleum gas. And the critical part about that is our plastic production. Which is just over here, actually. Here, we can just walk over. The plastic production was being restricted by the petroleum. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to start working on a robot work speed, more than research speed. How come? Are there too many things draining it? Because there's petroleum over here, but then... Oh! Whoa, you don't have any coal. Okay, then. I mean, for a long time it was the petroleum, and then all of a sudden, it weren't. It were something else. Let's tap a line off of that. Actually, you know what? It's very convenient that I'm down here right now, because this area here needs to be hooked up. Because a bunch of these things were starting to run out of coal, and so I've been cleaning it up, but then the rest of it here hadn't been tapped. I'd sent in some sort of like long-range order to do that at some point. Never got it hooked up because I realized I would have to move this stuff, which would be slightly annoying to do at range, just because the bots don't super duper pull this apart really quickly. Yeah, because of the way they pick up coal. They have to pick up each coal off the thing individually. And if it's still flowing in, then weird stuff happens. I mean, that worked out kind of okay. But yeah, it can be very, very, very bizarre. So I'm going to put a 4-way balancer here. So we're missing the one on the right. So I will plan for that, because we might end up tapping into it at some point. Nope, not you, but you. So we're going to do that. Because again, this might be a thing later. That. Okay. Probably not quite like that. I guess we'll want to do a balancer here. It's not really mega critical. You gotta go that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, and you are in fact going to be that line. We'll have you two merge into one thing. We'll do, that's not the way to do it. Go there, up, and like that. And we come up this way and do this, and then I'll have you and you. If this is a corner, we can do this like that, and like that, and then to do that, so the corner is not ideal. So you actually have to go to here, and then this one here can just come up like that. That's going to be okay. But then what I'll do actually is this bit here, I'm going to give this guy to run the opposite direction and hook him to my plastic. Yeah, that's going to be okay. And we get to kill some trees, which is always great. Sure, I'll leave you there. Trees I blow up. Power lines, no, we'll leave them. If I do this, I don't think we destroy the tracks. It's a good thing the tracks have slightly more hit points than the trees. I think everything has slightly more hit points than the trees. Good God, that was close. Can I make it to the other side? Nope. Oops. Don't ban out me, you punk. Where's the plastic from here? Right there. Okay. I can probably just get rid of the gun. You know what? We'll leave it there for now. Because it doesn't hurt us. It's not even draining power. And it's a good little emergency measure in case we turned out to run low on stuff. So if we do this, boom. And not that it's important, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Just because it's going to annoy me if they're mismatched. Do we auto-trash those yellows? Yes, we do. Good stuff. Plastic is starting. You're indeed staying full of petroleum. So yeah, I think like the amount of petroleum in the pipes, it'll be a little deceptive just because of the throughput of things. But it is indeed being held up. Oh, and we actually are at the point where we need... First of all, let me dump this stuff. We need actual blue things here. This actually might be a good opportunity for the upgrade tool. We want to upgrade from yellow to blue. Now, that didn't work so great when we were doing the tracks, because, again, the pickup is all a little bit weird. But here, if I grab you and just do that... There we go. Oh, it automatically grabs from the inventory. It doesn't even set a bot command. Maybe with the shift. There we go. Now we're outputting with blues. You are doing this. Actually... And I got the 4-lane balancer for, like, growing it later. But I would suggest we actually need some express belts here. Not all the way. Also, we could do some compression, which is what we're going to do. Do this. As soon as it hits this, then it splits in two. So it's going to have more throughput as soon as it hits this, this splitter. Although, maybe I'll go ahead and actually split it that way, and then it's going to be fine. We're going to do that, and yeah, we're going to do some compression. There you go. And they can stick them together better, because any little gaps that might be too small to normally dump in, these guys will be able to squeeze in. And that's going to be okay. Am I wrong? Do I need to go ahead and upgrade all this too? I didn't think so. At this point, it's like semi-limited by the grab. Yeah, that's all it is. The bottleneck is the actual grabbing. Oh, right, because... You stop this. Because this was my old way of doing things before I, like, you know, finally had the light shined into my eye with 1,000 candlelight freaking marine flashlight of doom. We want to do that and that. And that and that. I think the blue inserters to grab is still fine. And you know what? We'll go ahead and split everything with the blue. Oops, not that close. With this anyway. Even though we don't really need it. But what the heck, right? If we do this and that. There we go. Because now we get to do 6 at a time. Could have done that about 1,000,000 times more handy. And just in case it makes a difference, and I think it will slightly, I'll do that. I mean, it's still mostly restricted by swing time, but there you go. And we could load on the other side at the same time, too, which actually is a fair idea to consider. Yeah, this is actually moving at full speed, though. Oh, it's even getting the gaps over here. But in the future, if we expand, we'll want to load on the other side. Yeah, there we go. So now it's not going to be the loading speed. It will actually be the production. But that's finally starting to empty out. Thank goodness for that. Okay, plastic production has been dramatically upgraded. Yeah, see, some of these are sitting idle, so I don't even have to do the other side. Although, this loading stage will go a little fast. You know what? F it. Let's do it. And you will do it all in blue. Boom. Which is still not on my toolbar. At some point it will be, but I don't think our production is quite there yet for me to be able to justify really using blue as a primary. And you know what? Because again, the input rates don't really validate it. We'll go ahead and do that just to save a little bit of equipment. Grab you, and we are coming around here, and you'll be going like that, and like that. Honestly, I don't think the splitter is even required. Especially not if I'm using the blue. Like, something like that's going to be A-okay. Yeah, because I mean, it doesn't actually matter that we balance the loading exactly, as long as everything eventually gets sort of filled up over here. It's, I mean, I guess it does, because these guys are dormant, whereas otherwise they wouldn't be. Yeah, I guess it is slightly better. So what the hell? Slightly better is slightly better. The blues are definitely overkill now. But whatever, yeah, like, look at this. Look at this. But now, there's no bottleneck whatsoever. Using some overkill is better than having any bottleneck in any way. So the next step might be to just double up our plastic production completely. I doubt we have the petroleum for that. Yeah, actually, we're even getting some blinking here. Oh, but clearly we're not producing, because the other side here, you guys are being starved out on petroleum on the other side. So that's not the thing. How's our crude? We've got lots of crude. We are... Are any of these not producing? No, we got flame everywhere. It's seriously still our frickin' refining. I can't believe we still have a bottleneck in our refining process. You know what we need? Beacons. Because I still want productivity modules, because that's really good for saving resources. We're researching right now. We're about work speed is going to be kind of handy. Which one's the beacon icon? This here? No. Yes, effect transmission. And how long of a research is that? Oh, that's really fast. Hold on. Grab that. That is really fast. We're going to start getting beacons. So what beacons do is you put them down, they have a range, and they don't do anything by themselves, but you put modules, right? Just like productivity. Well, I don't think you can put productivity modules in beacons. So you put speed modules. I think it's speed or efficiency, which saves power, but we'll use speed. And then what they do is anything within their range, they give that speed boost to. I have no idea if this is arranged in a good way to make this happen. But, I mean, we're not that backlogged on crude. But we'll probably still give that a go. And I suspect beacons are going to be enough of a thing that we'll probably want to produce them automatically. You know, probably limit to like 50. Even then, 50 is probably overkill, but that's okay. And then we could redo our science area, actually, to take advantage of beacons. Ooh, now that is sexy. That is really sexy. Yeah, we're input limited, but that's fine. As long as the plastic is flowing... And, yeah, even now, the red's just, like, waiting. Like, that's how quickly it burns through this plastic. How much you got back there? Can't click on you? Oh, you're nearly full. I'm gonna hop in the train. I'm gonna wait for it to actually fill up. Just because why not? There it goes. And we're gonna see how quickly this gets used at the other side. And the answer is very, very quick. I could calculate based on what we've... It's not even a very long train ride. We could probably just drop things off. I could empty this faster. First of all, we could fix this to properly empty with all 6 components, which I will do in a moment. I'm going to wait for this ride to be over. Same thing for the loading. Yeah, and unloading over there. Yeah, that's probably a good thing to do. Because we're obviously not getting throughput. I mean, so it doesn't make much of a difference. But if we end up with more plastic production, and maybe a second train, or just a longer train, it's going to make a big deal. But yeah, we're using the plastic as quickly as it gets dropped off. Like, there's no backlog. I mean, there's a little bit here, I guess, in these chests. Jeebus. Yeah, we need to produce a frack ton more plastic. Alright, starting to backlog a little bit, finally. And that's... I still have the red train doesn't get a plastic delivery. It's all going to blue, which I probably want to change now, because at some point we're going to run out of red on our main line. So it's perfectly okay for half of it to go this way. This setup is still stupid. Alright, let's fix these train setups here. I don't know if we actually have to empty from both sides for the plastic, but you know what? Why not? We'll do it so that way, you know, going forward we're going to be okay. We're still going to use the wooden ones over here because we don't need that much. I will save some material by just emptying with blue over here because that is going to be more than enough. You dump on the right, which from this angle is going to be on top. Hold on, I should do it this way. On top, so that way 3 will be on the right. Excellent. Yeah, I really should have this blueprint so I don't have to keep, like, going through that logic every time. But, on the other hand, you gotta keep yourself entertained by doing something, right? So... No. And we do have to wait for this to empty, because otherwise I'm gonna end up with a bunch of plastic in my inventory, which isn't really what I'm looking for. There we go. Wow, picking up those chests is awfully slow for some reason. And we'll still do that sort of split up. That's going to be fine. Ba. Apparently I only grabbed one of the 2. Okay. And yeah, I have to get a bigger Roboport just so that it more successfully uses my personal bots for more work. Because I keep, like, using all my personal bots, and then it's like, okay, well, we better call for, like, the logistical ones. I'm like, no, I have all the inventory over here. It's fine. Oops. We want blue and green. There, done. Okay. And yeah, plastic train. Go ahead and do another drop-off. I'm sure you're not full, but I just want to double confirm that all this is working fine. Like, we're already out of... Well, not completely, but almost out of plastic over here. It's absolute madness. in there. You're dropping off some stuff. Good. And this will empty a lot faster. I mean, it didn't have as much stuff in it, but that's okay. And that goes out there, and that goes out there. And then we've got the red bits over here. So, I mean, the bottleneck for loading this train isn't actually our stupid rail system. It's the fact that we don't produce enough red circuits. Can we productivity module the reds? We can. Is that what we want to do? I mean, right now, yes it is. It's not about the speed at which these work. It's about trying to get a little bit more material. Do you not have any greens? Are we having a copper problem? Well, first of all, we could unload this a lot better and more efficiently. Which might be all we have to worry about. There should be a train here in a second. Unless that copper train was going somewhere else. And that one's filling up. I mean, I know I have two. So yeah, there must be one going somewhere and one going somewhere else. And I think that we did have a bit of a coal shortage. That might have been a slight issue for a little bit. Get rid of some of these lights. Clean this up. Okay. Oops. No, I want you to keep using the iron chests for now, because I don't want them for anything else. The wood is fine. Oh, I have my little blueprint. Where's my little blueprint? You. Bam. Bam. Did I not have the... I did this the wrong way, didn't I? No. How come... Do I have 2 copies of this blueprint? Oh, I put it in the wrong place. La 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 la. Also, this has got to get moved over anyway. So we've got more room. Build a big one. Thank you. Now, blueprint. Bam. Okay. And we only need one of these 2 things. There we go. Copper arriving. So that goes nowhere. Yeah, so really what we want is a 2 to 8 balancer, not the 4 to 8, which is what we've got going on here. And of course that would be pretty simple to implement, but hardly the worst thing we've ever done. Let's get you going. Anything here, we'll get you going. We clearly need more material. Yeah, I think we need to do a little bit more smelting. How quickly does the copper get loaded? Not as fast as it could because we've only got the quad. Okay? So that'll be another part. I should have ridden that train! No! Stay here! Okay, you guys build your shit. That's fine. You got everything part of the logistics network. That's good. Oh, man. I've been making these videos overly long back to back to back here. Which is not great. Because, hey, I got a car over here. And I'm quite happy to just forget about the car, like, in general. Whoa! Come around. Come over here. Especially if I'm paving stuff. So yeah, this is the poop. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this. I will let the copper that's in here run out completely, so that I don't have to overload my inventory too much. Then I'll rip this apart and replace it with a 6x loader so that it goes a lot faster here. And uses a lot less equipment, which is nice. And that I'll do between episodes. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I will see you guys next time.